Chapter 4. Confrontation. Adeline felt. Chapter 4. Confrontation. Adeline felt sick the rest of the night. So many thoughts swirled in her head. Maybe it wasn't too late to make it right. They hadn't made the plans yet. Maybe Gianna would have a change of heart. But something told her that wasn't likely. Halloween was a week away. Raven's past residents took Halloween very seriously. The town held several spooky events. There were haunted houses, a haunted hayride, and decorations everywhere. Everyone in town loved a good scare, it seemed. Almost everyone, anyway. Adeline wasn't a fan. She couldn't wait until Monday when she could see Emily and Marco again. She couldn't exactly tell them what had happened, but it would be nice to be around people she knew well and trusted. She could relax and be herself with them. Monday at school, she was there early again, sitting outside by the statue. This time, though, she was waiting for Marco and Emily. They weren't anywhere around, so she texted, "Where are you?" She checked her phone about every second for an answer. Right when she felt her phone buzz, she heard a voice. "There's our new girl." She felt an arm around her and smelled cinnamon. Gianna. A thrill spread over Adeline. She pocketed her phone. Gianna started walking with her toward the entrance. Bea, Ada, and Daisy trailed behind them. Adeline turned and gave them all a short wave. Everyone waved back, besides Ada. She seemed annoyed. Adeline knew it was because of what she had said Friday night. They walked into school and Adeline's phone buzzed again. She was about to check it when Gianna said, "Come to my locker before class. We're going to talk about Halloween costumes." They walked down the hall. It was just like Adeline had dreamed. The sea of students parted for the group. Adeline was right where she had wanted to be. Then they walked past Marco and Emily. The looks of confusion and hurt on their faces stung. Adeline gave them a little wave, but they didn't wave back. At Gianna's locker, Adeline checked her phone. She saw that Emily had written back, "At our lockers." Marco had added, "Where are you?" Adeline felt awful. Why was she doing this again? She looked up from her phone, and Gianna's dazzling eyes were looking back at her. "Would you rather hang out with your old friends?" she said. Her voice was hard. No, Adeline said. "I just feel bad, because they kind of look up to me and stuff." She swallowed down that pesky guilt again. Gianna's hard expression softened. "It's hard sometimes for old friends to get the picture, but you don't owe them anything. You have to put yourself first. That's what I say, at least. It's like self-care, Adeline nodded. She'd heard about self-care, but she wasn't sure Gianna's idea of it was quite what it meant. Still, maybe Gianna was right. She didn't owe Marco and Emily every second of her day. She put the phone in her pocket. At lunch, Adeline sat with Gianna and her group. She watched Emily and Marco out of the corner of her eye. She could feel them looking back. She made sure not to make eye contact, though. Maybe she would get away with not talking to them at all that day. Part of her felt happy about it. Her new friends were just going to have to take priority. At the end of school, Adeline waited until she thought Marco and Emily weren't at the lockers anymore. Then she went to grab her book. She felt a hand on her shoulder and jumped. Sheesh, what's got you so jumpy? A familiar voice said. It was Marco. Adeline turned around. Emily and Marco stood behind her. Emily's arms were crossed. I didn't see you two here, Adeline said brightly. Her voice sounded too loud and too cheerful. I bet not. You've been hanging out with your new friends all day. You left us on red all day, Emily said. The feeling of shame shot through Adeline, but it was quickly followed by anger. She remembered Gianna's words about self-care. She shrugged. Yeah, I am having fun hanging out with them. Marco and Emily shared a look. So you're just ditching us? Emily asked tartly. Adeline felt her face get red. I didn't know I wasn't allowed to have new friends. Emily shook her head. I don't care if you have new friends, Adeline. It's just, I ran into your sister on Saturday. She said you were at Gianna's Friday night. You lied to us. Her voice was shaking. Then Marco piped in. You can hang out with whoever you want, but we've been friends for a long time. It's like all of a sudden we're not good enough for you. Adeline looked at the ceiling. Emily and Marco weren't wrong. But didn't they see how amazing Gianna was? Wouldn't they do the same thing if they had the chance to hang out with the coolest girl in school? Adeline grabbed her books. She didn't know what to say. Sorry, she mumbled and walked away. Marco grabbed her arm. It's more than that, Adeline. Gianna isn't a very nice person. You saw what she did to Daisy.
You saw what she said to Daisy?
You really want to be like her? What? You mean pretty, confident, and fun? Adeline snapped back. Then she replayed Friday night in her head. She knew Marco had a point, but that wasn't all there was to her. She thought about how good it felt to walk down the hall with Gianna. She remembered the feeling of being part of the cool group. She flipped her hair. Thanks for caring, she said, smiling, but I'll be fine. She started walking away and then called back, see you later. Adeline felt relieved as she walked away. She took out her phone to text her new friends.